Hello there, and welcome to this week's Heart to Heart. I'm your host, Karen Del Maestro, your health and transformation coach, breast cancer, BRCA2 thriver, and I am here to help you get your energy and your life back so that you can start to reimagine the path in front of you. Right? Doesn't that sound good? We can't go back, guys. We can't go back. So let's look forward and say, what do I want to make it to be? It's pretty exciting. Now, we are here today as you're coming on in, get settled down. We're here today talking about feeling misunderstood after breast cancer. Now, this is a huge topic, and in the Healthy Living After Breast Cancer Facebook community, we're going to be talking about the emotional impact of breast cancer throughout this whole month. But feeling misunderstood, how do you know if you're feeling misunderstood? Let's start there. I think if you've ever had the thought nobody gets it, if you have the thought that what's wrong with me, is this normal? But more than anything, it's that feeling of being isolated because nobody gets it. And if you've ever felt that way, let me know. Just put a yes in the comments, whether you're watching me live or whether you're joining for the replay. Just put a yes in the comment if you've ever felt that way. Now, I know that I have. And so I want you to know that you're not alone. In fact, you may or may not know that every 19 seconds, somebody is diagnosed within the world with breast cancer. Every 19 seconds. Good percentage of those people, as they're going through treatment, the fear of being diagnosed, the fear of what does this mean for my life, for my family, for me, and then, of course, after treatment, when we are, I think, least prepared for anything. Now, I remember when I was done with treatment, expecting to feel over the moon, suddenly like able to go back to whatever I was doing in life before, doing my normal exercise, cleaning the house, doing the laundry, all of these things. And I was not prepared for what actually happened. And I find that few of us are, because breast cancer is certainly not what we see in the movies, right? It's nothing like that at all. And we are not done when active treatment is done. And this is where I find the feeling of being misunderstood comes in more relevant than any other time. I think people understand when we're going through treatment that we're tired. People might understand that we are emotional. People might understand that we need to rest. But when treatment is done, there is this expectation. Like I said, we expect it too. But people around us expect us to just jump back and get back into life. And that is not, or I should say rarely, what happens. I speak to hundreds of women worldwide, and I've yet to come across somebody who has just gone right back to their life after treatment has ended. And part of that is because the impact of this disease goes way beyond the physical. And it's not just the short term that you're going through treatment. And I'm going to use that as a short term relative to our lifespan, because there are massive mental and emotional impacts of this disease that are rarely talked about, as well as the physical. So, as I've said before, one of my biggest things is I want you to know that you are not alone. Now, in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about an opportunity that came my way about 3 months ago, 4 months ago, I guess. friend of mine sent me a link to a one-day event by an organization, nonprofit organization called Amplify Voices. And I was like, oh, this sounds cool. This sounds interesting. Okay, it was just for breast cancer survivors. And I signed up for this event. Little did I know that that one day event that was virtual for me was going to change my life. Because what happened from there was an opportunity to apply for a 90-day intense speaker transformation experience. What is that? Boy, it's a mouthful, right? I had to apply. I had to do an application form. I had to do a video application. And I was handpicked along with 14 other women to go through this speaker training program. Now, why is this relevant to today's topic? Well, Amplify Voices is a pretty amazing organization, not pretty amazing, brilliantly amazing, that I feel so fortunate to have been introduced to, because what they do is they empower women to share their story. And it's not just any women, but from communities who have historically been misunderstood or silenced. And previously, they've done events on sexually abused, sex trafficking, formerly incarcerated. And this year, in a couple of less than 2 weeks now, it's getting very, very close, 8 of those women are going to be standing on a stage and telling their story. Now, through this journey, let me back up a minute. I did the application process and I was shaking as I was about to hit submit on the button. And I'll tell you why, because virtually I speak all the time, right? But I haven't had as much experience at standing on a physical stage. Now, after breast cancer, and I'm wondering if you've had anything like this too, I knew that, number one, I wanted to pay this journey forward, right? I wanted to be able to help shortcut somebody else's pain and healing and their recovery and let them know that they're not alone and that they're not misunderstood. But to get through that, we have to share our story. We have to share our voice. Our voice needs to be heard in order for people to understand what this journey really is. Like I said, not what we're seeing in the movies or on TV at all. And so the way to get around that is to share our voice. Now, after my breast cancer journey, I was delivered a vision. And that vision was me standing on a stage in front of thousands of breast cancer survivors. I think it's the first time I've actually shared that out loud, like in the internet ethers. And as I was submitting everything to Amplify Voices, I'm thinking of this vision, and it scared me, right? It terrified me because it's out of my comfort zone. But I know, perhaps the same way that you do, that I went through this journey for a reason. I went through this journey so that I could impact, I'm not even going to put a number on it, infinitesimal people. And perhaps you feel the same way too. Perhaps you're like, I know I went through this for a reason. I know I'm supposed to help others. And so that's what I was feeling. And as I was hitting submit on the application, which I did because my word of the year, by the way, I always choose a word of the year, was daring. And so I dared myself, Karen, hit the button. This is in alignment with this vision that was delivered to you. I don't know where it came from. I didn't know how I was going to get there or what it was going to take. But I knew I was delivered the vision. And so I took the action that was necessary to reach that vision. Now, having said that, I will not be amongst those 8 people standing on a stage in Scottsdale, Arizona on May 11th. However, I will be on a virtual stage June 10th with 6 others telling our story too. So, what's happening? What have we been through to get here? And by the way, um, I've dropped in wherever you're watching this video, the link so that you can purchase tickets for this event. It's May 11th. It's in Scottsdale, Arizona, and you can also buy a virtual ticket. All money goes towards the event. Amplify Voices is a nonprofit organization, so everything goes towards this great cause of hearing these voices so that we can change the way that people view breast cancer, the journey it really is, the trauma it really is, the fear that it really is, the PTSD that 82% of women deal with after going through it, right? These are stories that need to be heard so that we change the way that people look at a breast cancer journey and understand that it is far more complex than people are talking about. There's only one way that we get to do this, and that's by banding together, by taking action, and then it becomes the ripple effect. And so I will also pop a flyer below where you're watching this video, and share it with your oncologist, share it with your Facebook friends, share it with anybody that you know has been through breast cancer, or perhaps you want to hear what's about so that you can support somebody that's going through. You never know when, hopefully never, but you never know when this might affect you. Now, the other thing I want you to take advantage of is until May 3rd, there's 50% off these tickets. So the link is around where you're watching this video. I always forget, different platforms have it in different places. So, what are you going to learn, right, by joining this event? I think that when you hear somebody else's story, it helps you connect to your own story, your inner purpose. You can realize what you can take from your story and turn it into a transformation. Many women experience a really deep connection to their inner purpose as they go through breast cancer or any other trauma, to be honest, and don't have an opportunity to share their story. By sharing our stories, by sharing our voice, we get to empower others to find the strength to go through their own journey, their own recovery, their own healing. So I'm smiling because I'm thinking of the day that I hit that button to submit. That day changed my life. That day changed my life. Because over the past 3 months, I've gotten to connect with 14 other brilliant women whose stories, we've all been in tears, we've all laughed, we've created friendships and bonds that will last a lifetime. And also this feeling of not being so misunderstood. And that's what we get by sharing our story, sharing our voice, knowing that it's going to touch somebody else and change their life, help them understand. And maybe you're that person, that you're not alone. And you don't need to feel so misunderstood. You just need to find the people that get it, the people that can support you, the people that can help you bounce back, or bounce forward, I should say, right? Because we can't go back. So next Monday, I will have some of these amazing women who are going to be stepping onto the stage May 11th. They'll be joining me here live for next week's Heart to Heart. Got a couple of them lined up, and I'm hoping that perhaps Deb Shapiro, the founder of Amplify Voices, might be here with us also. We'll see what her schedule's like. I know it's been a little nuts with the event coming up. But you don't need to wait for that, right? These tickets are incredibly reasonably priced. If you take advantage of the 50% off, the Amplify 50 code, it's good through May 3rd, only May 3rd, so book now. The in-person tickets in Scottsdale, Arizona, if you can be there live. It will be so impactful. These are like a TEDx style talk on a stage, the whole shebang. Okay, so if you take advantage of the 50% off, those seats in person are just $13.88. Grab a friend. Go have your life changed by being in this audience. If you are watching virtually, taking advantage of the 50% off, just $6. There will be a recording. So even if you can't join live on May 11th, grab the virtual ticket, grab the recording. Trust me when I say you want to hear these stories. I have watched all of these women go through this incredible process, digging so deep into their soul at the message that they want to share with the world. I've been through the same thing. I just have a few more weeks before I get to share mine. And you'll get all the details on that when it comes up. But this is the first round here. You don't have to choose one event or the other. Go to both. The first one is May 11th. And so I really do urge you, whether you've been through breast cancer yourself, or you've seen your mom, your grandmom, your daughter, your sister, your aunt, and let's not forget the men too, you will learn how this disease has truly impacted these incredible women, how they've turned pain into purpose. And you will learn lessons from that, whether you've been through breast cancer or not. Because all of these lessons are lessons that you can use in your life, because let's be real, most of us go through a lot of hard knocks in life. But by amplifying our voices, by speaking our truth, we will be heard and no longer misunderstood. But people don't know. And that's the problem. We don't know what to expect as we are going through it and after treatment. We are going to change that. We are going to make sure that people are more educated so that we can all respond more appropriately and not feel misunderstood. It's a horrible feeling. It's isolating. It's scary. And I don't want anybody to feel that way. So again, grab your ticket, right? You can see the link there. The link is also around amplifyvoices.org/BBC Beyond Breast Cancer is our amazing event. We have tickets for the live stage in Scottsdale, Arizona. And also that event will be live streamed. I'll be watching the live stream. I'm in Florida on May 11th. So grab your ticket. Use the code Amplify50 before May 3rd. That's when the 50% deal ends. So grab your ticket today and I will see you there. But let's get ready to hear these stories and then share. That's the ripple effect. That's how we get to change the world, right? It's not by one person, it's by us sharing our authentic voices so that we're no longer misunderstood. Okay. That's it for today, guys. Don't forget, join me next week. I'm going to have some of those speakers with me live here on StreamYard. And you'll get a little sneak peek of some of the beautiful women who are going to be on that stage on May 11th. They'll be a little anxious, I'm sure, because it'll be the week of the event. So, but I'm sure that they'll also be feeling a lot of excitement. Okay. Grab your ticket. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. But please share this event. I'm going to drop a link to the flyer also in the comments so that you can share that. Share it with your oncologist. Share it in Facebook groups where you're allowed to. Share it with friends and family. Share it, share it, share it. Please. We need your help. We need to get these voices heard so that we can change the way that we are treated as breast cancer survivors. Okay. I will see you next week, guys. Have an amazing week. And don't forget to buy your tickets. Bye for now.